because these people, they only understand violence. Na si tukiendelea na bendera na maji, there's nothing. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. No revolution has ever been peaceful. And also people need to start understanding that we have power. If you look at history, the King of France, I think he was beheaded by the people. And the people also beheaded the entire family of the king, not just the king and the entire lineage of the king of the king. That is the kind of power that people have. So let us not imagine that tuko powerless. We are not powerless. I do not believe in that. History, abductions, we need to just start, vile tulisema jana, we need to start making noise. We need to start disrupting them. We need to start, tukipatana na watu, to even beat them up. Because they are not police, they don't have uniform. We don't know if they are police. They could be just criminals with guns, you know? Na tukiulizwa tunasema sisi hatukujua, hawako wamevaa uniform, si hatujui yana kina nani. So we deal with them as criminals, vile mmesema. It is time we start showing our teeth. Otherwise, this government will keep on beating us down. Wataanza kutu execute in public. I can tell you that for sure. Itaanza ku happen. If you disagree with the government, they come, they execute you in public. So we have to start showing our teeth. And I hope, and if we just do it to one Subaru, moja tu, we don't need many. We don't need many. We just need to shike tu moja. Moja tu, we light it up, we beat them up. We just need one. And even these MPs and these people, we also need to start sending messages to them. If you can remember the last demonstration, zilianza na watu kuchoma nyumba za MPs, and they really lived in fear. That is the kind of fear we need to start instilling on these government people, these politicians. So I agree, this movement has to really shift. If we really want the revolution that we need, it has to shift from being a peaceful revolution to being a radical one. Thank you.
Could you mention about how the radicalized means that you just need to understand what is happening? These people are worse than Moi. There is a way you can be peaceful. I am still peaceful, but not defenseless or lie.
Okay, thank you. I think I'm the one who is having the mic.
Yeah, go ahead, Saitoti.
Okay. Yeah, mimi ningependa kuwashukuru sana kwa wakati kama huu. Let me go straight to the point. Tukienda kama ni public participation, tafadhali tusienda kuchanganya hii vitu. India tulienda tukachanganya wakati wa Gachagua, kufa makanga, kufa dereva, sahi Gachagua kwa nje na tumeona kwamba yeye ndiye hata catalyst. Tukienda pale tuconcentrate hii kuongeza to 7 years to stick up hiyo kitu hatutaki. Tusiende pale tuseme kwamba hatutaki 7, tunataka 4. Wanaweza wakaenda kuchukulia waseme kwamba public participation ilifanywa na wakakubaliana kwamba ni 7 years, hiyo ikaextendiwa. Na mkijaribu kuangalia sasa hii koti, hata fenye hii house levy fenye imepitishwa sasa hivi wanasema kwamba ili conductiwa public participation na ikakuwa okay. They okayed the house levy, of which ni kinyume hata na wao. Hakuna siku yenye public participation, hakuna public participation imeifanywa juu ya housing. The only public participation yenye ilikuja ni ya Gachagua. So mimi nikipenda kuwa encourage wale wenye mtaenda pale, unaposhika mic usianze kusema kwamba we don't want 7, we need 4. Hao watu wataenda pale bungeni na watasema kwamba wamekubaliana hiyo kitu. na itapitishwa na hakuna kitu yenye tutafanya. Na ukijaribu kuangalia mtu ni mwenye tuko naye ni mtu kichwa ngumu, ajui chenye inafanya, ni ile chenye ameamua hiyo ndiye anafanya nini. Kindly I want to advocate this, tukatae mambo ya term limit. Kisha hiyo ya 4 ikikuja on debate, tunaenda pale tuikubali hiyo. Asanteni sana, ni hayo tu niko nayo, sina moto. I think ndarudi hivi by saa 3. Kwaherini.
Asante sana Saitoti. Yeah. Wale watu ambao tunataka kupeleka wa memoranda, yes, just stick to the no. Hakuna cha no but. Usiweke but. Tumekataa. Hiyo but ingine itakuja baadaye. And even hivyo inafaa tukue hivyo. You know, stick to the course. Nataka kupeana memorandum ya term limit, nimesema no. Usipeane tena story zaidi hapo. It is just a no. Unaona, because when you
Basi unaweza waambia wa drop email pale. Basi hiyo email unaweza sema no kwa email, nimedrop hiyo link kwa sema no na hiyo email tafadhali people.
yeah.
Umetuma kwa group.
Hapa ukienda comment section nimetuma kwenye unaweza sema no vizuri. Nasikia hata karibu ifungwe lakini inject finya.
Yeah, so,
sema no hapa.
yeah, so it's just a no. Hatujui story ingine. Then ikiwa tutakuja kuitwa hiyo 4 years, yes, hapo ndio tutakuja tuseme tunataka hiyo 4 years.
Hebu tuma kwa tuma WhatsApp tafadhali.
Hapana, nimetuma hapa kwa hii space.
Kwa comments.
Yenye tunaongea. Kwa comments. Yeah, iko kwa comments. Sema no hapo, no useme vizuri, nasikia inafungwa. Inject, finya. We are doing something.
Yeah, that is how we should continue. And lakini this can be a trigger. Wacha tu waendelee watuchezee, it will be a trigger. Yeah, everybody request the mic. Tuambie, what do you think of term limit extension? Tuambie, what do you think how the country is going? What do you think of Bill Gates? What do you think of Safaricom? What do you think of William Ruto? What do you think of Adani? What do you think of a revolution? Kidnapping is happening, abduction. Tunafaa kufanya vipi? Today mtu anakuwa kidnapped, unaona jina. Kesho mtu anakuwa kidnapped, unaona ni mtu ambao unamjua. Kesho ingine mtu anakuwa kidnapped, unaona ni mtu from your family. Can be you, can be me. Until when? Let's continue injecting and discussing. We are being bombarded with a lot of issues. Left, right, and center. Adani, Marina Kuja extension term limit. There is agriculture. There is, I don't know, critical infrastructure protection. That is to curtail the protest. There are a lot of things about tumekuwa bombarded. So we need to be tactical. We need to be counteractive. Omamo.
Well, there's something else I forgot to say.
Yes.
If this movement is going to be a radical one, lazima tuanze kuishi kama wakora. That's one thing we need to understand. People need to understand this. Kama ni VPNs, tumieni VPNs. Don't stay in one place for a long time. Lazima tuanze kubehave kama wakora. Because if this is going to be a radical movement, then it is very important we start behaving like a radical movement, the way they behave. So tusisahau tafadhali. Because pia hatuna time ya kushinda tunaweka hashtags. Hii hashtags Twitter sijui free nani hapana. Tuanze kuwa wakora pia. And then I've always believed that the future of the world is in Africa. I've always had a very strong belief in that. So when you see, and that's why unaanza kuona watu kaa Bill Gates wanaanza kukuja Africa. Nasikia JP Morgan, they're setting up something in Africa. The future of the world is in Africa, and this is because population in other places in the world is declining. Africa is one of the places that the population is constantly growing. So that means market itakuwa Africa in the future. That's why mnaona how watu wanaanza kukuja Africa. But we need to understand, Africans need to understand that the enemy is always the West. The West don't have good intentions for us. And a government that welcomes the West, that is not a good government. People need to start understanding this. Yeah, but my main point was tuanze kukua wakora. Tafadhali, tukue wakora. Tumia VPNs. Wacha kutumia Safaricom. In fact, hiyo poster Safaricom, leteni tuanze kuboycott Safaricom. Tukue wakora, tafadhali.
Yeah. Kudili na mkora, lazima wewe pia ujue tactics ya mkora and behave like mkora. I agree with Michael Mango.
Okay. Hata mi kesho siendi streets with the same mentality. Yeah, we are peaceful, wasi. Like, we are peaceful, but hi. Kuna vile we also have to change our tactics. Thank you for that.
Yeah. So, yeah, you have also to always to be tactical. I've been saying this and I've been repeating over and over that people, we must understand that the country is at war. It is not at peace. When people are being killed, when people are being kidnapped, abducted, that is the country that is not a peaceful country. But the unfortunate thing is that we are at war with the regime, with the government that is supposed to protect us. Now, this war is not a light one. It is not something to joke about it. So I want to agree with Omamo. First, always try to be as discreet as you can. To me, a private virtual network, virtual private network, and don't be a schedule, person. Kwa lazima unatoka nyumbani 8 na unarudi 7. Alternate. Saa zingine chomoka 5. Saa zingine rudi 4. Saa zingine rudi 10. Don't eat on one regular spot. Kunako ka spot town huwa unaenda kukula. Try to change. Don't eat on one regular spot. If you are driving, don't be parking your vehicle on one regular spot. And sometimes, just leave your vehicle. You can board with a friend or you can use the public means. Don't have that trait kwamba someone understand your movement. Always try to change even your code of dressing. Kazingine kama ulikuwa si mtu wa kofia, zingine vaa kofia, zingine vaa glasses. Change. Kama wewe ni dem, wewe ni mtu wa madress, zingine vaa trouser, always badilika. That is one thing in the movement. And then now, as going forward, we are now looking for our team of security ambao tutaanza counter and these Subaru boys, because these Subaru boys, they are unconstitutional. They are not following the constitution, and if they are not following the constitution, why should we be subjected to the constitution that they don't believe in? These are criminals. So we also want to see how to deal with those criminals. The government is operating with goons. And these goons, so even us, we will have our own. Not to kill the innocent people, but to protect ourselves. Yes, Rajji, karibu.
Thank you, Fabish. And I think I'll start with what you have just said, because I'm very passionate about this particular outfit. And it's not a strange outfit. It's an outfit that the Kenyan politicians have perfected so well, especially the party called ODM. But we would try to change that narrative into something that, okay, what we are simply saying, we will be ready to defend ourselves. This I know many people wanaona ni kama ni kitu, but the direction the country is taking, na the amount of fear wenye imemwagwa, hakuna any other alternative. It is us for us. It is sisi kwa sisi tujichunge. And about tomorrow and about, I think, 11th, the most important thing wakati tunaenda kwa hizi mikutano ama hizi meetings ama hizi demos, the most important thing is to work as a unit, and also as a unit, najua ni ngumu, but you know they are very particular in targeting some people. So what we are asking, I know it will not be easy. I think it's something I've engaged Abish in a private conversation. We already have people in mind who can perfectly do that. And when we say perfectly do that, our intention is also to extend this to whenever somebody calls for alarm. Niko mahali fulani, but I'm doubting that the environment ama watu fulani are tracing, tracking ama wamefika. Then there are people who can respond immediately. It is something that needs our immediate reaction, our immediate input, because these are people also, some of them that have worked in the past with this caliber of politicians. Now most of them have been used by these politicians, so they already feel they're already feeling they're already feeling what me and you are feeling. They are part of Kenyans. If it is in terms of economy, you know what happens with Kenyan politicians, they will starve. You get starved basic needs, and that's what William Ruto and the administration are doing. They starve you basic needs, they starve you health, they starve you education, so that you can be somebody who is reliable to the pipes of the politicians. So and that's why tukiendelea kukaa hivi, things are getting worse. They're getting worse. You can see somebody was talking about the West. I've always said that 80% of our problems are the West. Juzi tu hapa na hakuna mtu anaongea. We saw Meg Whiteman anaenda kuconverse na IBC. How can they cooperate? Unaelewa, what areas, what has America got to do with our democracy, with our IEBC? Those are the questions that you guys will be asking yourself. You can already see this. So Kenya is somebody's property through a puppet that controls it. Kuna watu wana call the shots, and you saw when Meg Whiteman went to IEBC, William Ruto was equally very quick to speak somewhere about the term limit. Akasema, hey, I'm not interested. But we know this game. It's not that they are not interested. They are simply no. And that's why there are several attempts to take out the Burkina Faso. Is it Burkina Faso president? Traore ali decide the country yake. He does not need the West. He does not need anybody. Unaelewa? They took matters in their own hands. And to this very day, kumekuwa na several attempts to. It tells you there is a very big input of the West in the African continent. Lakini hatutaiangalia hivyo broad based. First of all, we need to get rid of their stooges. We need to get rid of their representatives, because the presidency that we have at the moment is a very big puppet. Not only a puppet of Kenya, not only a puppet in Kenya, but he is a wider representative of the West interest in terms of the African continent. And he is the one who does the bidding. He's the one who does the bidding. I know most watauliza kivipi nini, but William Ruto does bidding for the West. Yeah. And unaona wakati Biden anampe mpaka opportunity ya kwenda mpaka Haiti. Don't look it just as a peace. There's nothing like a peace mission in Haiti. It's just a country that its natural resources are being targeted, but William Ruto is just a proxy in all that game. So tuangalia until hatujafika mahali ya sisi wenyewe hatujajikomboa. Even the independence itself, it's just something that has been, it's a decorated democracy. And na unaona vile hata vitu zina move. You see the developments in Kenya, the way they are moving. Vitu vile vinaenda, chopping board, Gachagua out. We were saying the other day, Weta, I'm being told he's being prepared for slaughter. So this is not... So the other day I saw my friends from the other side celebrate. So William Ruto will go radical. At the end extra length. As long as it is something that will preserve, will keep him in power. There is nobody who will be safe. As long as ni kitu yenye itatumsaidia akae pale kwa mamlaka ama madaraka, atakuwepo pale na atafanya chochote kwa any other person. So it is up to people like me. I love the topic kwanza, radical. This is what we have been calling, because if you just walk by, hey, there is a revolution coming, tulitoka ile revolution ya selfies na nini, it's being radical. As we talk, I'm told my good friend Maverick is missing. I don't know how sure this information is, but tunaona kila siku, because they have allocated a lot of resources to those Subaru boys. Wamewaaloketia pesa, wamewapea magari. Pesa iko mingi ya kupea hawa vijana. And you know, once a vampire tastes blood, a vampire, unajua mtu mwenye anaua, once ameua tu, it's like you when you kill a fly or a cockroach in your house. It becomes, kuua ya pili ya tatu, it's not a big deal. So for them, it's like that. So we're having a unit that has been made by the state to be like vampires. How tu wanangojea orders mahali tu, kimbia huku, enda kwa mse fulani. No. And unfortunately, we need also to be very careful. Somebody alisema kuhusu Safaricom. Our data is, but then again, we cannot live by that fear, because sasa kila mtu akiogopa, who will fight for the country? Kila mtu akiogopa sasa, who will fight for the country? And it is na tumekuwa tukisema, let us get out of our comfort zone. It's time to get our comfort zone. What you do, if it is kama unajua uko hii area poa. Mimi na appreciate kila mtu mwenye anakujaga, at least anaweka input yake. This conversation, hata kama itai kuwa boring, the hashtag Ruto must go, hiyo ni hashtag hata watoto wetu wakati watakuwa wanatumia internet itakuwepo tu pale, watakuwa nakumbuka. So it is not a very good CV for him, as much as anataka kukaa hapo in power, as much anataka kuua. But I really, unajua kunafikaga mahali unakuwa na ile human conscience. Huyo mtu ataka kifika mahali, if there is a head of state mwenye atasumbuka sana wakati almost anatoka kwa power, ni William Ruto, because everything will come down to hunt him. What next for me once I'm out of it? And there's unaona group yake, the likes of Sudi, they are busy urging him, no, ukitoka hapo sisi tumekwisha. Ukitoka hapo, those are the talks. Sasa Maverick, yani makosa yake tu ni kutuambia mtoto wa Faruku alikufa. My friend, there is a God also who anaangaliaga hizi vitu. You're busy killing people, children on the street, but your children hawatauliwa, hata kama bullet haitawafikia, wataenda huko nje wajiue tu. So that is what is happening. They will kill themselves. And those are the news wameshindwa hata ku-announce. They are very ashamed. Very ashamed. So I think Fabish, there's something I'm just doing. I think I'll come to give my other submission because there's a lot happening today. I'll come in, just give me like 10 minutes. I finish. But let us be very vigilant. Let us look for each other. Vitu kama hizo vitu ndogo ndogo. Wale wenye kesho kuna siku there are submissions being made, and wacha tutume hizo submissions. Kuna hiyo nini ya parliament, the address ya Senate, reject also those, do those things. I know there is a way they wanataka kuifanya kama ile public participation. You know, they usually tell us public participation, and then wanakuambia 7 days. Kindly make your input, even if the results watajaribu ku. I know Itumbi is very good in these games. He will form even 10,000 email address. Waeke tena Wakenya walikuwa na support hizo nonsense. But just put your input, but I'm very sure this administration, hata kama mahali penye wako, and if they have employed enough NIS to be giving them intelligence, I believe NIS inaweza wape credible information. Wajaribu tu hiyo kitu inaitwa term limit. Wajaribu tu hivi tu. I know they have killed, I know they have done everything, they have gotten their way, but what will break the camel back is testing Kenya. No, let them just, no, they will table. Now, of course, they are looking for a way. You know, there is something called testing the waters. So Cherargei is, and that's one of the president Jana may come out. Hey, we at a stack is junior. It is testing us. So let us wait. Of course, maybe the speaker atapelekewa sema this is a nonsense. So it is a wait, but it is important for you kwenda pale kwa hiyo website, make your input, reject it as we observe them. Unajua pia hiyo ni kutupima, wanatupima. Sasa wacha tungoje pia sisi wacha tupimane. So just do your part and then tuangaliane, kwa sababu najua sisi wamesema ni 7 days. I think there's 7 days, either they are lapsing tomorrow. I'm not so sure. But at least register those nini. Don't rely on William Ruto saying that I'm not interested with a second term. Remember, it is the same William Ruto, if you can remember, somewhere in August. William Ruto aliulizwa about our airport. Unakumbuka akiwa Coast, ilikuwa sijui ni Coast, akasema, am I a madman to sell the airport? Unakumbuka? Am I a madman to sell the airport? Jana William Ruto was talking of, the Adani deal is good. It will help us with the taxes. Nini. So this is a man you cannot count on his word. Na hakuna kitu inawapeningi ati sasa yeye alitupia tu kitu ya kutumanage tu kwanza. So let us do our part. Let us reject. Enda pale wewe reject, but also reject ukijua pia wanakuwaga na their own ways. So uliona public participation, even ya Rigathi Gachagua, even when almost the whole country was saying ati kufa makanga, kufa dereva. So walienda wakabadilisha. Walibadilisha hiyo kufa makanga, kufa dereva through these MPs. No. But let us do our part, tukatae. At time, ile time yenye tu watu watafika mahali wasikiwa wamechoka. It will be very natural, like what happened in July, in June. It will be very natural. Even in hiyo boiling ya anga ya Kenyans, kuna time itafika tu. Hakuna kitu yenye inaga ati ni, kuna time tu itafika. Hata hakuna mtu mwenye ataambiwa sijui atatokelezea. Atapata tu kila mtu. It will just knock them the way vile iliwapata tu wakashindwa hii kitu imetoka wapi. And you remember, if you saw body language ya William Ruto then, alikuwa hata anatembeaga design nyingine. Alikuwa anatembea tu design nyingine, hata hakuwa anajua ni kama ni mbele ama ni nyuma. Siku hizi unaona ile courage ako na hiyo courage kwa sababu ule mtu mwenye ametudanganya miaka yote anatupigania in the name of Raila. He's in bed with the government. And we are being told he has already demanded other steps. He's already demanding for this administration a lot from it. That's why Wetangula will have to be on the chopping board. Because how Raila Amolo Odinga is going to benefit in this government, he is going to make sure amewasumbua to the last minute. And it is my prayer. I want also Raila to lose the seat at the AU. Because once he loses the seat at the AU, he will come and torment William Ruto. So kuna vitu zingine zenye sisi tutafanya kama wananchi, na kuna vitu zingine Mungu atatusaidia kama Mungu mwenyewe. Atawacha wagongane hapo, watalimana. So when William Ruto thought that ameleta Raila akamsaidia ka government ikafloat come back to life. So each day where Raila will be demanding for something new. And Raila is that somebody mwenye unajua once akiingia kwa serikali, he will destroy it within. So there are things we will do, the others that we let our God. But what we know we should always know at the back of our mind, it's neither Raila, neither Ruto are the solution to our problems as a country. Sawa, Fabish, I'll be coming a bit baadaye. Thanks.
Thanks sana Ras G. Ngoja tumsikia Isaac.
Yeah, thank you so much, Fabish, and the speaker panel. I've been following you closely and the events that are actually happening in our republic. First of all, I've been actually following some, I keep tab on several issues coming out. And, when this government came in, it was government of Mamamboga na jamaa wa boda boda and na wanabiashara ndogo ndogo. But at this point, I don't know if you saw what the Communication Authority of Kenya just issued. I think it was yesterday evening or today, and they are going for those small businesses. So if you ever have if you sell like second hand phones, you're selling these locally assembled phones, I'm telling you, they're coming for you, however much you'll be making. So that businesses, to be honest, they're going to die because KRA will be coming for your IMEI. I think for those, for lack of better term, that's like phone identification. And to be honest, most of those phones do not really have the IMEI, what we call the International Mobile Equipment Identity. That's the exact word. So such small scale businesses, and these are the only businesses that people have been surviving on, right? And to be honest, most people have been closing down because they cannot really, with the overtaxation and the government pressure up and down, businesses are not really working. So for those small scale businesses, to be honest, I just feel like, of course, I know KRA is trying to do as much as possible to collect as much money they can and to make sure that the businesses are ratified in the country. But again, you look at it, what is the side effect of this, right? So, because one thing that I've known is, especially for this second hand phones and the locally assembled phones, is willing buyer, willing seller, because people know why they're buying that. And it just goes back to everything. You go to Mudurwa, when you need something, someone will tell you, oh, these pipes, if you go to Mudurwa, you're going to get it cheaper, and people go knowing what they're going to get. So to some extent, I feel like these people should have mercy for these small scale businesses, because when you suffocate them, then they will have no alternative, and and this is the same premise that Ruto pegged on when he was talking about Mama Mboga, Boda Boda. He once said he will come up with electronic Boda Boda where you'll just go charge. I'm waiting to see one border charging station where this border go charge their border so that they don't really buy gas or buy fuel, right? So talking about term limit, this is something that we really discussed at length in Gashoka's space. I think Fabish was there. And one of the things that we need to do, and I think Ras G, the previous speaker, has mentioned, let us sign this petition. Let us do our duty. But at some point, I agree to the great extent to what Rasji has said. The issue of presidential and the parliamentary term limit, it is something they are testing us. It's not like they really want to, I think they're just testing the waters. There's something they want to introduce, but they want to see whether Kenyans are aware, whether we are woke or not. So, and also, it's a distraction strategy. Remember what has been happening. They know how to distract us. They know how to keep us busy. Adani is on the verge of extending. Now Adani is already here, and now we can't really run away from that. Adani is now executing several deals, and the government is at the verge of actually giving him that opportunity. And within no minute, you realize that now Adani is at the center of the most strategic premise, most strategic investments that we have as a country. You talk about Kenya Ports Authority, you talk about KICC, you talk about JKIA, and so forth. So these heritages that we do have as a country, to be honest, you realize that now this guy is going to take over. So what is happening even with this presidential term limit? This is bullshit. It's bullshit. It will never happen. Actually, I tweeted on my space, and not rather on my space, on my timeline, and say the moment they approve, or the Senate, the parliament approve this thing and move it to the president, oh my God, we will all be on the street. This will not be any Gen Z anymore. It will be everyone going to the street, and we shall sit there, live there, camp there, and not go back. It will be no business as usual. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that they are using this as a strategy to test something that is yet to come. So I'm appealing to young people. I'm appealing to Kenyans. Be woke. Be vigilant, because you don't know what these people are yet to introduce. They are using this to keep us on tab. They are testing waters, as Rasji did mention. And as I said, I'm telling you, may God, as Rasji said, and this has been my prayer, Rasji, may God confuse them at some point, because they lie to us when they need our vote. They lie to us when they come with their manifestos, which they've never achieved. It's now 2 years since we had elections. And you realize that now the manifesto they've been talking about is just been, up and down and defending what have you, and nothing is actually happening, to be honest. So please sign. If you haven't really signed that petition, I'll be happy if you can go to my timeline, follow me. I will be able to post. If I have two versions actually. The one that was created by Gashoka, and there's one for Omkia Omtata. So if you need like a template, please, I can give you sign and send it to the clerk of the Senate. We need as much as possible. And if there is anyone who is actually from Cheregei's constituency, we want you guys even to recall that guy. He needs to know that whatever he's doing is against the will of Kenyans. So anyone from Cheregai, Cheregai is from, is it Nandi? Nandi? Or where? Where is Cheregai from? I can't really remember. The constituency. So if anyone knows the
It's from
constituency,
Nandi, the Senate of Nandi County.
is the senator of Nandi County. Thank you, Fabish. So if you're from Nandi County here and you're not happy with what is happening, we want even to sign, a recall formula. We need to recall them. The problem is we do not have IEBC. You see, so these people know they cannot constitute IEBC, and we cannot actually recall them. So it's like Kenyans, we've been held captive, guys. And but our time is coming. I'm telling you, Kenyans, do not give up. At some point, you might feel perplexed, you might feel down, you might feel thwarted, but I'm telling you, time is coming when they will have no escape. They will have no escape because it's their time to take advantage of Kenyans. It's their time to do whatever they want. But at some point, I'm telling you, this shall work no more at some point. So let me yield to give other people an opportunity also to speak. But what I'm telling you, remain vigilant. Do not go to sleep because we don't know what is yet to come. Also, keep tab on their Adani. Follow Gashoka. Gashoka is actually they went to court and they're actually marshaling more lawyers, attorneys to go to court because that's something that needs to come down because Adani will not take over our institutions when we are seeing because Ruto is using this as an advantage to seek for more funds for investment. But when he was vying, he was telling other people, we are borrowing, we are like looking for funds while all those accusatory language he was using during campaign without knowing he was also headed to the same. So he need to go back to his manifesto and see how he can actually execute that particular manifesto based off of what he was saying. But anyway, Kenyans now, I think with the conversation we are having on these spaces, we are informed. This is no longer Kenyans where people could just go to lie people. I was telling my mother, you need to download X on the phone. You need to listen to what Kenyans are saying. And I'll make sure that when I meet her next, she has X and she's listening to these spaces because those are the people we need to inform what is happening in our country. Thank you so much, Fabish, for the space. And I yield to allow other people to speak.
Yeah, Human, I see your hand is up. Thank you so much, Isaac. Human.
Yeah, we've had a lot of points. There was one that I was raising my hand against. If you have been pushing for this, you understand how much we cannot just pretend we are peaceful way. It's hard. Or rather, it's not even possible. Even tomorrow, because I am going, nitafika. Yani, lakini, there's a way we need to move different. This is someone mwenye ako ready kukumaliza in a heartbeat. Like, we have to move different. Yeah.
Human, we lost you.
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I was saying you have to move different. Like I know how much we have to move different. We can get so tired, but we have to move different in terms of how we handle them. These are people that are willing to finish you in a heartbeat. They are using even organizations. Like, I wonder, you guys, there's people that are using Safaricom still. They are using all their efforts to make it not be peaceful. So do we get to just pretend that we are peaceful continuously forever? Yo.
I think I hear you, Human. What you're trying to say is we need to re-strategize, right? Because we can't use the same method to, kill a rat, right? If it's becoming smart, we need also to re-strategize. So, Human, are you saying we burn the whole house because of these 3 rats that are giving us headache? What's gonna happen? What is the way forward?
I'm saying they're banning it, and let's catch up. Tomorrow I'm going, and I'm never going to go with the same attitude. We'll catch up to how much they've banned this country. Catch up. Literally, people wanamalizwa huko hospitali. People are dying. Catch up to what they're doing. Catch up, and act accordingly, is what I'm trying to say.
I think, yeah, last thing, go ahead.